This episode of the Just John podcast is brought to you by Grady Frazier's debut EP, Tales from the Runaway, available now on iTunes. What up, homies? I'm your host, John Medina, and this, my fine ladies and gentlemen, is the Just John podcast, episode 18. Today I'm going to talk about life hacks, Star Wars breaking all the records, an app review, and more.
Allow myself to introduce myself.
I've compiled a list of some life hacks that I think will really help everybody that listens to the show out. They're definitely going to help me out in some way, shape, or form. So I wanted to go ahead and share them with you guys. The first one is accidentally text the wrong person. Immediately put your phone on airplane mode, and once it fails to deliver the message, delete the message. Then when you turn your phone back off of airplane mode, there will be no message for it to try to resend. That is really clever and could probably save a lot of arguments. This one's a little fun for a situation that's not fun at all. When you're on YouTube and you're trying to watch a video and your internet sucks and your video's buffering. Now this has to be on a computer. I don't think it'll work on a phone. But when you're on YouTube, it's buffering. If you press the up arrow, it will start a game of Snake. You know, that old game that you used to play on your Nokia brick phone that was the toughest thing to ever exist? Well, you can now play that game on YouTube when the video's buffering. Am I the only one that kind of wants a YouTube video to buffer every once in a while now, just so I have an excuse to play Snake? If you have a song stuck in your head, also known as an earworm, which happens to me all the time, and the worst part is when you cannot figure out the name of the song. So that's what this life hack's for. If you have a song stuck in your head, but you can't think of the name, you can go to midomi.com, midomi.com, and it will allow you to sing or hum the song into your computer or cell phone, and it will help you find the song. Of course, it may not work if you're not able to hum it correctly or sing it correctly, or if you have some of the words wrong. It's kind of like SoundHound or Shazam, where it uses keywords and tones and different things to find the song. So if you're not correctly depicting the song, then it may not work. But it's still a pretty awesome idea, and I think I'm going to use that a lot. You're in school, you've wrote this essay or this paper, whatever, and you think it's good. You've read it 37 times. You've had your friend read it. You think everything's perfect. You turn it in, you get it back, and there's errors. And you're just like, how on earth did this happen? I read it so many times. My friend read it. We couldn't find the errors. So when you're finished, in the future, when you're finished with an essay, copy and paste it into Google Translate and just translate it from English to English, and then have it, or don't even translate it at all, just put it in the English part, and then have Google speak it back to you, and then listen to it. That's the easiest way to find mistakes, because it's going to say the entire essay, and you can listen to it, and then say, oh yeah, no, there's an error there, and fix it. I think that's awesome. You know those nights you open the refrigerator, and you're like, I have all this food and nothing to eat? Well, fear no more. You can go to myfridgefood.com, and you can put whatever you have in your fridge into the little cart thing on the website, and it will tell you everything you can make with those items. Even stuff you may have never heard of. Maybe you've got all of the ingredients to make frog eye salad, but you didn't know that because you don't know what the ingredients are, but you just happen to have all that stuff in your refrigerator, and this website can tell you you have the ingredients to make that. Then you can go look up the recipe. Maybe they provide the recipes, and then you can go on from there and cook it, and then you'll never be in that I have all this food and nothing to eat state again, unless you really just want some pizza or like McDonald's, because you know everybody has that moment where you're like, I have all this healthy food and home cooked food that I could eat, but that McDonald's sounds really good right now. It happens to everybody. Don't feel bad. We've all had that morning where we wake up and we're like, I do not want to go to work today, but I'm not sick. And so you call your boss and you get the whole, I'm sick, I'm not going to be able to make it into work today. And everybody knows it's a big pile of bullcrap. Well, with this life hack, you can avoid that. So if you want to sound sick when you're calling into your work, lie on your back while hanging your head over the edge of the bed, and you'll sound congested. Fake calling into work will never be the same again. This next thing's kind of a life hack. It's actually also a random fact, kind of. To get night vision, keep one eye closed in the well-lit area and then open it in darkness. That eye will be able to see in the dark. That's actually why pirates wore eye patches. They didn't wear eye patches because they were missing eyes or because it was stylish and cool. Okay, well, maybe because it was stylish and cool. But the real reason was that they would leave that eye under the patch and it would get adjusted to the darkness. And then when nightfall came or they went into a cave or whatever and they needed to be able to see in the dark really quick, they would just switch the eye patch and put the eye patch over the eye that had been exposed to the light the whole time. And then pretty much instant night vision, well as it could be. When you're on a plane and you're needing Wi-Fi, some planes have free Wi-Fi. Some planes do not have free Wi-Fi, but what they will do is give you a free 30-minute trial. So what you can do is sign up for the free 30-minute trial while flying, and then once the trial's expired, delete the cookies and then start a new trial. Now, there may be some instances where this won't work because they've discovered that people do that, but there may be instances where it will work because it's using the cookies to track to see if you've used that free trial or not before. But on that subject, let me talk about something that grinds my gears, okay? You're going to sit there and tell me that I need to pay you $600 to fly me somewhere with 300 other people who also paid $600, and then you're going to charge me another $25 to put my bag under your stupid plane. And then not only that, but you're going to make me pay for Wi-Fi? Come on. I know that the airline business has not been doing the best with the recession and the cost of fuel had been outrageous recently. Not recently, but a couple years ago and whatever. And I understand that, but you wonder why certain airlines do so much better than the other airlines. There is one specific airline, it's my personal favorite. You don't have to pay a fee for your first checked bag. It's free. You get a carry-on for free. Wi-Fi's free. They even have free movies you can watch, even on domestic flights, which is rare. And they give you free snacks and a free drink. And you wonder why they're the most profitable airline in the United States right now, when all of these others that rip and gouge and charge you for everything are struggling. Maybe it has something to do with your business model, big guy. Anyway, sorry, back on track. So the last life hack I have, this is so ridiculous. And if any of you try this life hack, let me know how it works out because I would be really interested. Write me the whole story in an email and I will read it on the show because I really, really want to hear somebody's experience with this. Hungry and want a ride home? Go to the local pizza shop, order a pizza for delivery, and get a ride home with the driver. I guess it's cheaper than a taxi because the delivery charge is only like $2, and then even if you want to tip them another $2 or whatever, most likely a cab ride's going to be more expensive than that. I think that's just funny. I don't want to do it because I live in such a small town that like everybody I know is going to immediately find out, and it'd be kind of awkward because they're like, you have a car, you could call us, you could call your friends, whatever. But if I lived in a bigger city, I'd probably try it. But I definitely, if one of you guys has done it before, or if you want to try it now, let me know how that goes.
The Force will be with you, always.
That's right. We are going to talk about Star Wars again. Look, if you have not went and seen the new Star Wars movie yet, what are you doing? Come on, seriously. Even if you don't think you're going to like it that much. Go give it a shot. See what happens. Anyway, so Star Wars, on the last episode, I talked about the fact that Star Wars needed to make $1.5 billion in order to even be considered successful. And I also talked about the fact that I didn't think they would have a problem meeting that expectation. Now, some people were kind of questionable on how successful it was actually going to be, but nobody questioned that it was going to be successful, but I still think that the numbers speak for themselves. I want to just go over all of the different records that Star Wars The Force Awakens has broken since today, which, okay, normally I don't record the show this far in advance, but with Christmas and Christmas Eve and everything, got a lot of family stuff going on, so today I'm recording it on a Wednesday, so just keep in mind that some of these, there could be more records that will be broken between now and the time that you actually hear the show, but this is as of today. It broke the record for the largest Thursday previews with 57 million, previously held by Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2 at 43.5 million. Had the largest Friday opening day single day with 119.1 million. The largest Sunday with 60.5 million. The largest domestic opening weekend with 247.9 million. The largest worldwide opening weekend with 529 million. The highest per theater average with $48,855 per theater. The top opening weekend for a PG-13 movie. The top holiday opening weekend. The biggest weekend overall. The biggest December weekend, December single day, widest December opening weekend, fastest to 100 million, which was 1 day, fastest to 300 million, which was in 5 days, beating out Jurassic World's previous 8 days, global IMAX opening record, domestic IMAX opening record. Holy shite. Did it kill the game. Not only did it kill the game, but it annihilated the game. It broke the worldwide opening weekend with $529 million, which the previous record was for Jurassic World at $524.9 million, but Jurassic World opened in China its opening weekend. Star Wars did not. It has not even opened in China yet. There's a few other countries it hasn't opened in either. So even without the second biggest movie market in the world, China, it still beat Jurassic World. So Disney said that it had to reach $1.5 billion to be considered successful. In 1 weekend, it reached $500 million. I really don't see a problem with it hitting another $1 billion. I think it's going to hit 2.5 at least. It's going to beat Avatar. There's no doubt about it. People are going back multiple times. I've already seen it twice, and I have never went and seen a movie twice in theaters. This is the first time I've ever went to the movie theater more than once to see a movie. Granted, remember, I was young when the prequel Star Wars movies came out, because I probably would have went and watched them again, but I wasn't exactly able to with parents and money and blah, blah, blah. I just don't see it having a problem.
I guess you could say things are getting pretty serious.
The song I'm going to play on the show today is called Runaway, and it's on Grady Frazier's debut EP, Tales from the Runaway, now available on iTunes. So take a listen to the song, and if you like it, go over to iTunes and show this man some love. You can also listen to the song on Spotify, and you can listen to the whole album on Spotify. So here it is, The Runaway by Grady Frazier.
I can't stand to be alone. if you promise that you'll stay. Yeah, we can run really far from here, just as long as you are near. Yeah, we can run really far away, if you promise that you'll stay. Yeah, we can run really far from here, just as long as you are near. Yeah, we can run far away, if you promise that you'll stay. Really far from here, just as long as you are near. Yeah, we can run.
All right, I am back. For those of you out there that have a drone or are wanting to get a drone or build a drone, I have some not necessarily bad news, but some news nonetheless. You now have to register your drones with the FAA. It's no surprise that the FAA site sucks and is intermittently down, but you have to register it. You can actually fly the drone without registering until February 19th, after which you will face civil and criminal penalties, including a $27,500 fine and up to 3 years in prison. All I have to say is if they start throwing people in prison for flying a drone without having a registration number on it, and they're not committing any other crimes, it's ridiculous. Okay, our prison system is already packed full for a bunch of other stupid things that people don't necessarily need to go to prison for. So let's just throw more in there and cost taxpayers more money. Sure, throw them, I guess, whatever, a fine. I don't think it should be $27,500 because, good God, why should I have to buy you a new car because I flew my $200 drone in the dog park without a registration? I can see a fine, but I think that that's a little excessive. And granted, those are the up to limits, so that's going to be in like certain circumstances, but there are very few circumstances I could see that being legit. Anyway, so you have 30 days to register for free, and if you do not do it within 30 days after that, it's going to cost $5, which isn't horrible. The registration requirements are for any aircraft heavier than 0.55 pounds and lighter than 55 pounds. If you exceed 55 pounds, rules are going to get a lot more complicated. You're going to start getting into almost as complicated as just owning your own private plane. Yeah, I know that a lot of people are going to say, oh, this is against the freedom, blah, 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 this is America, but the thing about it is, and I understand that. I understand those concerns and comments. And, you know, it is America. It is about having some freedoms. But the problem with that is people don't always do the right thing when given the option between the right thing and the wrong thing. And what I mean by that is a recent example is there were some fires in California, and people were flying their personal drones over the fires to look at it and observe it and stuff, which is all fine. But it caused some issues when the helicopters were trying to come to throw water on the fire. The helicopters couldn't get close enough because the drones were in the way, and the people were not moving their drones. So really, that and some other reasons are the main driving force behind these new regulations. Also, I mean, you could be pretty intrusive with a drone, so while, I mean, you could violate a lot of people's privacy, I guess is what I'm trying to say, and there's a lot of different things that you could do with drones that hadn't been considered until the masses were able to get their hands on them. Before, when they were super expensive, there was a huge paywall behind or in front of them and everything, so it kept a lot of the general public out of doing it, and the ones that did do it did a good job at not causing issues. But now that the general public can get their hands on it, you know that it's going to be used for things that it shouldn't be, and that's the reason for the rules. I'm not saying that I support them 100%, but I understand the logic behind it. I also understand the whole freedom aspect of it too. So I'll keep following this, and if anything crazy happens, be sure that I'll talk about it.
You know, when I see a car like this, first thing I do is I say, would you look at this?
Would you look at this? Obama golfing is news. Obama is on vacation in Hawaii, which, cool, that's a good place to go to vacation, especially in the winter. I mean, not that it's much winter here. I can tell you, Missouri, it is 2 days before Christmas, so it's Christmas Eve, and it is 61 degrees outside. How ridiculous is that? Woke up this morning and it was raining instead of snowing. I could do without snow most of the time, but come on, man. 2 days before Christmas, Christmas Eve, and Christmas Day. Bring on the snow, just for those few times. Anyway, so Obama's on vacation in Hawaii, and like all celebrities, he's got a whole crew of paparazzi stalking him and running around with him, which, you know, let that man have a vacation. I mean, he works hard. Whether you agree with the things he's done in office or not, you can't deny the fact that he works hard and he has an extremely stressful job. And I'm sure I'll get an email or a comment from somebody saying that he doesn't do anything because nothing they've wanted to be done has been done. But that doesn't mean that he actually does nothing. He's got an extremely stressful job, as I said before, and he does work hard. So he deserves a vacation just like everybody else. But anyway, so he's golfing on his vacation, like people do on vacations, enjoying himself, and he sinks a 40-foot chip shot in the 18th hole. I don't golf. I don't know much about golfing, so I don't know what that means. If somebody would love to explain that to me, I'd be all ears. I'm always willing to learn. I just don't know what it means, but I'm assuming that it's something really good or cool or something like that. Anyway, so one of these paparazzi that were following him happened to film it. And they sent it to ABC News. And ABC News decided to make it actual news. What? Like, there are a million other things you could be talking about. And I'm not even saying bad stuff. You could be talking about good stuff in the world, the cool things that are happening, charities, blah, 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 whatever. And you could, you know, lay off the bad stuff for a little bit. It's the holidays. Let's show the good in the world for once on the media instead of focusing on only the bad. Anyway, I did not mean for this to turn into a rant against the media, but I do want to say I don't always understand their tactics. Good stories can get just as many views as bad stories. They just want to stir the pot and start the drama. Anyway, back to the conversation. So Obama did this and it became news. I don't see the point in that being national news. Like ABC National News is talking about Obama golfing on his vacation and making this shot. I can understand if golfdigest.com featured it as news because guess what? They're a golf news site. I'm pretty sure there's not a million things constantly happening in golf that are more important than President Obama playing golf. But there's a lot of things happening in the world and in the country right now that are more important than President Obama playing golf. Why don't you let that man play golf on his vacation and just let him do his thing and leave him out of the spotlight for 1 week of his life? He will forever now be in the spotlight. Give him a vacation. Come on, people. You know what President Obama should tell the paparazzi that are following him constantly on his vacation? He should say,
"Because I'm going to put my nutsack on your drum set."
Now that would be news. That would be hilarious news. Can you imagine just turning on the news or going on to Facebook, going on to Twitter, whatever, and the headline reads, President Obama puts nutsack on paparazzi drum set.
"Because I'm going to put my nutsack on your drum set."
All right, so I'm going to wrap up the show with an app review, like always. The app I am reviewing this week is called Marvel Contest of Champions, and it is so it's kind of like old school Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter style. Okay, actually more like Mortal Kombat, not so much like Street Fighter, but you pick your character, whether it be the Hulk, Spider-Man, Iron Man, whatever, and then you are in this contest of champions, which is almost like Mortal Kombat, seriously. And you battle the opponent on the phone, right side. You tap, like really fast tap is a light hit, medium tap is a hard hit. No, a medium tap is like a medium hit. Holding on the screen is a hard hit. If you switch across the screen, you can do a run hit, and then the other side you hold the block, and then once you hit so many times or get hit so many times, you can unlock your special moves. So for like Iron Man, it's, you know, his pulse, shooting the hand pulse. Hulk, it's like, you know, Hulk smash, blah 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 blah. Anyway, so it's a lot of fun. It's a fun game. It's child friendly. You can use real money on it, like all games, of course. Like I've said before, they're not going to tell you, no, don't offer me your money. But you don't need money to do it. It's a struggle to get characters. Okay, not a struggle, but it's not as easy to get characters if you're not willing to pay money, because you have to open these crystals or save this in-game currency to get the crystals. And the currency that you use to get the crystals are not exactly coming in droves. It's not as easy to get as the regular gold that you use to upgrade characters and things like that. But you do get 2 free shards a day, and you open the shards and different stuff can come. And like yesterday, I opened my free shard and got Black Panther. So you can get characters out of it. You can also just buy characters directly. So, you know, of course, they're going to give you multiple options, but it's a really fun game. If you're into Marvel, the Marvel universe, you're into comic books, definitely take a look at it. And remember, it doesn't just have the characters that are in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. This is a Marvel game, so you can get the X-Men, you can get the Fantastic Four, all kinds of cool stuff that aren't in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, Disney side of Marvel movies. So it's a lot of fun. Download it, take a look. All right, and that's the end of the show for today. If you enjoyed the show, please show me some love by liking, thumbs up, subscribing, sharing, rating, reviewing, retweeting, or whatever it is that's used to symbolize the love of the show on the platform you're using to view it. You can follow me on Twitter at JohnnyM_Revo or Facebook.com/JustJohnPodcast. You can find the show at justjohnpodcast.wordpress.com, and you can listen to the show at soundcloud.com/justjohn-podcast or youtube.com/JFMedina2010. You can also search for the Just John Podcast on iTunes, Stitcher, Spreaker, and some other shite. You can email me at justjohnpodcast@gmail.com. And remember, without you, I'm just some dude talking to himself on the internet. Until next time, peace out, fam.